So for over 17 years, I thought that I had a problem with this, but I actually didn't. And I want you to consider for a second, just entertain me. If you think that you have a problem with this or a problem stopping this, that's not actually your real problem either. And so I wanted to let you know that there's a video that you can click below and register to watch, but I don't want you to do it right now. I don't want you to register for that video right now, because that video is gonna walk you step by step through how we've helped over 6,000 of our clients permanently break free from this, but it has nothing to do with this, right? And so I know that if you register and you see that video and you see that it's an hour long, you're not gonna watch it right now because you don't understand what you're gonna learn and why it's important. So I just wanna take a second to unpack this dynamic of what I discovered in my life and see if it maybe resonates with you. And the reason that I started to realize, I started to get these kind of glimpses into this wasn't actually my real problem. Because I noticed that when I was out in public and I didn't have the opportunity to go to this, I might be with my wife and my eyes start to wander, right? Something catches my attention that is kind of lust-based, my eyes start to wander. And I started to notice that this is one of those dynamics where, I typically try to have control over my thoughts, and in these circumstances, my thoughts had control over me. This might be a circumstance or a situation where I go into Sunday morning services fully intent on focusing my attention on learning truth from what's being taught on stage, and all of a sudden something else catches my eye that is lust-filled. And now all of a sudden I'm being distracted by this when I came here with the intention that was good, and all of a sudden my thoughts have control over me again, and I'm focusing on something that is dark. And so this is a game that I saw played in my life over and over when I'm seeking light, and darkness is trying to pull me into it and distract me from pursuing the things that I had my heart set on. And so it wasn't this that caused the lustful mindset. I thought that for a while. The reason that I realized that wasn't true either is because there were periods of time where I'd taken this out of my life for 30, 60, 90 days, even a year at one point. And I still had a problem with going into public and things grabbing my eye, right? And so I assumed that when I stopped this for an extended period of time, that those symptoms of being distracted by lust would go away, and they didn't. And so I started to understand that this wasn't the problem. This is a result of my brain being hyper fixated on lust and having these controlling thoughts and these controlling urges. But what's even deeper than that, and this is gonna take some work of like actually peeling back the layers, and the deeper that you go, the closer to freedom you're going to be. Below the controlling urges and these controlling unwanted desires was some root wounds that I had. And when I started to understand that my brain was actually designed to cope with these roots by escaping and medicating and sedating and hyper-fixating on other things, I started to understand that this was just a brokenness inside of me. These were actually just root problems and root challenges that I was working through. And what was really surprising is a lot of them didn't have to do with lust at all. Lust was just the thing that my brain had come up with a really creative solution to cope with the pain that I was experiencing internally. And because I'm a man, and I tend to suppress things and try to ignore them and just, move forward, I'd never really given these things attention. So I didn't even really understand or have awareness that they were going on. And so the only thing that I was aware of is the fact that the way that I was living was not sustainable. I was trying to pursue light, and darkness kept showing up in my mind and controlling me and preventing me from fully living into the purpose for which I was put on earth for. And I knew that there was a point in time where I had this break. I couldn't do this anymore. I tried all these things. I tried the blockers. I tried these accountability apps. I tried reading the book more that I can't say because of compliance reasons, going to Sunday services more, connecting with guys in that environment, and trying to get all of the help that I could. And it was like, I tried to increase my willpower and my discipline. I was super fit, and I was able to have discipline in finances, and I was able to have discipline in my eating. But when it came to this, it's like I lost control, and I didn't understand why. And it's because it had nothing to do with this and everything to do with something deeper. And so the reason that this video is placed in front of you, I don't think by coincidence, and I think that you're sitting there listening to these words right now and knowing that they're not coming from me, but maybe something higher that placed it in front of you to communicate to you for a reason in this moment right now. This may be something that you're struggling with, or maybe it's not this, maybe it's that distracting thought and that distracting eye that's you're fixated on light. You know that you're put here to pursue light, but darkness continues to consume you, continues to distract you, continues to pull you in. You don't understand why you can't stop. And I want to propose to you that maybe it's time to stop trying all of these surface level fixes for something that is much deeper. And so if you're tired of resisting and failing over and over, you're tired of trying all these new apps and these new strategies, or maybe sitting in with a professional that's trying to walk you through all of these surface level fixes, or you're tired of calling your buddies every time that you fail and thinking that you're gonna guilt and shame yourself into finally stopping and nothing's worked. I want you to consider that in order to get something different, you have to try something different. And the reason that this video is placed in front of you today, if you click the link below and you put in your information and register for that video, you're gonna learn what a root issue is. You're gonna learn how over 6,000 clients have trusted us to walk them through this process. So you're gonna learn exactly what that process looks like. And maybe it's for you, maybe it's not, but I can guarantee you one thing: if you take some time, you invest an hour of your time in learning these new things, it's gonna shift your perspective of what's actually going on. And it's gonna give you some peace because you're finally gonna understand why you continue to go through things that you don't want to. Why you continue to have these desires that are unwanted when normally you would think that a desire is gonna be for something that you do want. All of this stuff is gonna make sense, and you're gonna gain a lot of clarity in an hour. And I wanna just ask you, an hour of your time is very valuable. I understand that we live busy lives, but is an hour of your time worth shifting your perspective and potentially leading you to freedom from something that has tormented you for how many hours? How many hours has this been a problem? And is 1 hour worth making a major leap forward to freedom? And so I think that while you're sitting there and you're listening to my words right now, there may be some skepticism, and I totally understand that. And so one of the first things that you're gonna see when you click on that link and you put in your information and you register to watch that video, you're gonna see 7 minutes of the very beginning of that video of just proof from our clients. Not my words, but theirs. And so I've recognized and it's been placed on my heart that it's not my job to convince you. It's not my job to sell you. My job is just to show, right? And so there's been a movement that's been happening inside of Unchained Leader that's spread globally to over, again, 6,000 clients in 33 different countries. And God's really shifted my heart to just pull back the curtain and go, hey, guys, this is what's going on. This is what's possible. And this was not placed in front of you by coincidence today. And so one last time, I'm gonna just ask you, is an hour of your time worth potentially finding the one thing that you've always looked for? And so if it is, I'd encourage you to click the link below, put in your information, just like 350,000 other people just like you, and take an hour of your time and watch that video and see if something shows up and speaks to you on a deep level. And so right now, go ahead and click that link below, put in your information. You're gonna see documented results of our clients on video sharing their experience of what happened after they invested that hour in that video. And if it doesn't make sense for you to continue watching the training and learning the things that I'm gonna be teaching you in that video after that first even 90 seconds, then don't waste your time. But I would encourage you to at least take 90 seconds right now, register, watch the first few minutes of that video and see if one of our clients' testimonials or one of their stories that they really boldly made a decision to put online in the hopes that it would help somebody just like you find the exact same results and freedom and transformation that they experienced in their lives. Then maybe continue to learn the stuff that I'll be teaching you inside of that training. And so again, click the link below, put your information in. I think that one of the things that you're gonna have confirmation of in those first few minutes is that this was not placed in front of you by coincidence. And I wanna encourage you to watch that video, see what shows up on it for you. Click the link right now, and I'll see you in the training.